first school year 26-27, direct shipment, DoD, fresh fruits and vegetables, and processing, and then answer any questions that you might have. Okay. As always, we're including our favorite timeline, just illustrating some major milestones throughout the school year. So right now we are in November. So we are going to be having our 4th delivery order period of the school year. RA applications are open for school year 26-27. And about now is when we encourage you to start your procurement for processing next school year, if that's something that you want to do. Okay, and like I just mentioned, RA applications for school year 27, they are now open. So you can pop into Primero Edge and view those. The applications will close on November 21st. And like with prior school years, your application must be in approved status in Primero Edge by the end of day, November 21st. And when we say end of day, it literally means at 11:59 p.m. So you have all day to complete that application if you need it. If you're unfamiliar with what the application is or just need that reminder, this is your way of applying or opting into participating in USDA foods for school year 27. So that application, again, has to be in approved status for you to be able to participate in food for next year. Okay, so there is now an RA application scribe with step-by-step instructions available to walk you through how to complete that RA application in Primero Edge. The instructions are located on NSLP Central. You can also click on the title of this slide on the PDF version and get taken directly to the instructions, or the link is also posted in the chat right now. Wendy did take us through a walkthrough during our last delivery foods, like open office hour, general questions, a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. She did a great walkthrough of the entire scribe and how to complete that application. So you can also refer back to that open office hour recording on NSLP Central if you would like, or you can use the scribe that's on NSLP Central, or both. Okay, and then just here are some reminders that we like to go through each month. First, checking your notification settings in Primero Edge just to make sure that you have opted into receiving all of the important notifications that will help you stay informed with your USDA foods throughout the school year. A reminder that you should also monitor your Primero Edge orders report to see when your products are anticipated to arrive or what's going on with them throughout the school year. Also monitor your DoD fresh budget and your orders in the favors website, not Primero Edge. And then lastly, make sure to monitor your processing pound balances in the processor link and K-12 websites. Now I'll hand it off to Michelle.
Thanks, Melissa. All right, now we're going to be talking about direct shipment, and direct shipment happens through the state agency via the US Foods contracted warehouse that we have, which is different from like when sometimes schools contract with them for commercial distribution. And then USDA direct shipments when schools are receiving shipments directly from USDA. Just as an FYI, make sure, please, that you are not using your USDA Foods customer number at the chef store with US Foods for tax exemption. The USDA Foods customer number is specific to this program, and they do occasionally, actually monthly right now, they're seeing invoices for this, and you should be using the W-9 or another tax exemption documentation from your school. So if you could please make sure that you communicate that with your staff, that would be excellent. We appreciate your help. Also, we are receiving questions still. I know we've mentioned this in previous updates. People are wondering where their product is. And to be honest, we are receiving everything at US Foods. We haven't had like reported issues that we haven't received shipments from USDA vendors at this point. So schools, if you are receiving too much or receiving too little, please report it. I understand sometimes that like when USDA food product arrives and you might be getting extra, it's like, hey, can I just keep it? Please no, because there is someone out there looking for that product. I understand that you get the value from USDA through entitlement, but another school is missing out on that product. So we just really want to make sure that people are reporting discrepancies as they see them. And then also just make sure that when you're receiving that product, you have gone through what the expectation is with your staff when those trucks arrive. And if you are having issues with drivers, please call me. Please, if you're not, getting the information you need from them, we need to follow up with US Foods to let them know what's happening with those drop-offs. But we want you to make sure that you're checking the paperwork that comes from US Foods against what you're expecting from your orders report. And then you're going to want to make sure that, again, you're reporting those discrepancies in Primero Edge. And if you are concerned, you can call your specialist or you can call me and we'll get you sorted out. But we really need you paying attention to that inventory so we can make sure that the shipments get where they need to. I feel like a little bit like a broken record, so please forgive me. And at the same time, I cannot overstate that not checking for correct items and quantities delays those shipments for everybody. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's a domino effect. So please make sure that you're checking those orders reports. There are scribes that help you figure out how to read those and anticipate what's coming. Make sure you have a copy at receiving so that you can match it with what the physical product and also what the paperwork says from US Foods, and make sure you're counting those quantities. Also, that the bill of lading provided is accurate, and please do not receive more cases than was ordered for your school, and make sure that you're either calling me or reporting them as soon as you identify any discrepancies, either plus or minus in Primero Edge. And again, if you have issues with the driver, just give me a call. I can actually pop my phone number in the chat. I will do that right now. Give me 1 minute. Has anyone had any issues with drivers? I'm gonna hope that that silence is a good thing. The other item that we need to cover with you, because it was discussed with us during our management evaluation from USDA, F&S guidance, when you sign for that product that you've received at that dock, you're signing that bill of lading, which means the title has transferred. So if you take food that is not supposed to be yours, technically speaking, it's your responsibility to take care of, like, you're accepting liability. So if that product belongs to someone else, US Foods does not necessarily have to take it back from you and then redistribute it back to the correct LEA. Right now, they do that sometimes for us, just because, quite frankly, like, we're lucky to have the business relationship we have with them. But that does put that in jeopardy when you sign for things that aren't supposed to be yours. By signing off on that invoice and that bill of lading, you are accepting responsibility and liability, the same way that if US Foods doesn't get what they are expecting from us and don't report that to us, like, then the state agency has to figure that out with USDA, if that makes sense. Again, we just want to highlight, you probably won't see this slide again. I think it's the fourth or fifth time we've had it up here, but we just want to make sure. I want to answer any and all questions about the catalog response report and how that's supposed to be utilized. But we really want to make sure that you're actively watching that orders report, because it is updated with information from WebSCM, which is the system we use to request product through the agricultural marketing service for ordering USDA food product. That orders report, where to find it, you can log into Primero Edge, and then this just shows you, it highlights that it's under food distribution, because now, right, we have multiple modules when you're hopping into Primero Edge. If you're participating in food distribution, you'll go to reports, and then the orders report is down here. And then as far as reading the orders report, just make sure that it does have the correct title up here. And then you're looking for the status for particular products, and the dates and the different statuses mean different things. We do have a resource that walks through what each of those statuses mean, so that you can feel clear about what's happening with the product that you're expecting. And then I mentioned WebSCM earlier, which is something that we use to request the product on behalf of the state of Utah. But we use that data, and it is updated weekly to update your orders report. So please make sure that you're going into that system and looking at that orders report in Primero Edge, because changes occur all the time for various reasons. There could be a supply issue, there could be inventory problems. So just make sure that you're monitoring that report frequently, depending on how far out in advance you're trying to plan with menus. And again, there's a link in the PDF for how to access the orders report in Primero Edge. We did have a schedule change for the delivery order period for November that I'd like to highlight, because of the fall conference event that's happening that same week. So they are going to open on the 20th in Primero Edge. So that will be available to you to make sure that you review your delivery order and you know what's coming, and you can also at that time decide, if you have multiple delivery sites, where it's going to go. If you have questions about that, please let us know, and then US Foods will deliver those orders that first couple weeks of December. And now it's time for DoD Fresh with Wendy.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, we're just gonna do a little review on DoD Fresh, some updates. For brand new people, we just wanted you to understand the Favors website. It's an acronym. It stands for Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Order Receipt System. And we've got the link in the chat. So let me put that in there for you. Favors login. Yeah, it's run by the Defense Logistics Agency, and it's how we manage our DoD Fresh money and orders. So make sure you get in there and check it out. The next slide shows the budget. In order to find out how much money you have left for your district, you'll need to go into the Favors website, not Primero Edge. So we don't have Favors DoD money in Primero Edge yet. We're trying to get that worked out. But for the moment, you'll just need to go into Favors, and it will show you how much money is allocated to you. And right now it's just July through December funds. And so make sure you're getting in there often to see what you've got. The next slide shows the Favors customer ordering manual, and there's a link to that too. This is a great resource. It was just updated by USDA in January, so I'd encourage you to spend some time in there also. It just shows you how to place orders, how to change or delete pending orders, how to view past orders, how to edit, how to display your fund balances. It's a great resource. It also shows you how to run reports if you want to do that. Next slide shows December 31st, we're going to do what's called a mid-year sweep. So we need you to make sure that you get all your delivery orders and use up your money In the next couple of weeks, produce orders that are delivered to your location by December 31st will be counted towards this July to December fund balance. If it gets delivered in January, it's going to go towards your next chunk of money. So just a reminder on that. We are going to have the budget available on December 15th for your January to June. So that will help you guys plan for the next part of the school year. And again, any questions on DoD, please put it in the Q&A or come off mute. We're happy to answer any questions. I know a lot of you are running out of money on DoD, and it's uncomfortable. So just hang in there. We technically can transfer money from other RAs if they let us know they're not going to be using it. But up to this point, everyone's using all their money. So you'll have to buy commercially through the end of the year if you're out. All right, so moving on to processing. We just have some really good tools for monitoring processing pounds we want to share with you. So the most obvious one is the Primero Edge orders report. So this is going to show you the products, a number of pounds ordered for you. Products and quantities on this report will vary from what you requested on the catalog back in February. So you just need to focus on what is listed on this report. So for example, this Primero Edge orders report shows pounds ordered for the 103 Tyson, the chicken. And then this report will show the total order of pounds that you should expect to get in over the course of the year. So orders report is your number one resource for sure. Another great tool is going to be going to the K-12 food service and the processor link websites. These are different companies. Depending on the processor, they'll be in one or the other. So you really do need to have access to both of those websites. For instance, like Tyson is in K-12. So make sure you've got logins for that. You can jump in and check out how much is in your district's, I don't know, your account, your money that's still allotted. So please try to be familiar with those. Both those websites should probably be on your favorites bar. And as far as monitoring your pound balances, you are responsible for monitoring your balances to make sure you have enough pounds to cover your orders through the school year. So before you place orders, make sure you check to see that you have enough pounds in your account to cover everything coming up. And then you also need to make sure that your purchases are aligned with the contract that you set up for processing. So, and just make sure you're in contact with your distributor or broker or your processor, and they can help you with that with their questions. All right. If you don't have enough pounds, you can contact the processor. The processors may be able to locate or transfer pounds into the state of Utah. They have a lot of leeway, so don't be afraid to ask. So just stay in touch with them. And sometimes there's other states that have a lot of extra pounds that they aren't going to be using, and they can switch them over to our state. And unfortunately, if there are no pounds available, you'll just need to expect to pay the commercial price with that. So, and then the next slide talks about too many pounds. So if you have excess or static pounds, meaning it's just not used, please contact your processor and just have a conversation with them. It's pretty easy process to move pounds around. So don't be afraid to let us know if there's some pounds that you just can't use, or contact your processor so we can move that around to people that will use it. And if you have any questions about that, please let us know. So that's it for today. We are going to stay on the line for as long as we need to. Please don't be shy. Come off mute or work on the Q&A, and we're happy to answer any questions that you might have about USDA foods. Thank you.
We do have a question in the chat. My K-12 has US Foods listed instead of Nicholas. How do we get that changed? So you're actually going to want to contact the processor that you're working with, like, so the, or the distributor, if it is the one who's managing those pounds. I imagine it is your processor. So when you, like, depending on what your processor, is processing, that's who is going to be that point of contact. That was not a very clear response, but hopefully, Mandy, you understood what I was trying to say. The point is the processor should be able to get that information updated for you. And the reason is because that's ultimately who they need to coordinate with in order to get you the product.
Yeah, I tried that and they said it had to be you guys. So I'll try again saying that you've told me that, but that was what they responded with. So I will contact them again.
So Mandy, you'll need to talk to JTM.
Yeah, that's who I talked to. I've talked to Nicholas and JTM, and they both said that it was on your end. So I'll contact them again, but that's what I was told when I contacted both of them.
Okay, so
Man.
I have another way that you can, because you're going to get the same answer. You can talk to K-12 customer service. So get on their website and talk directly to K-12. So that's the backup plan. Do you remember who you spoke with at JTM?
I do not. I'd have to go back into my emails and see. I do not off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, so the first one is the processor. If they can't do it, then the website itself, K-12, should be able to help you get in there and switch that around. And if they don't, get back to us. And we'll call Ed at JTM.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know, just so you know, we don't have access to change those things.
Okay.
That's why, yeah.
I'm on it. I will continue to try to figure it out.
Okay.
Sorry, Mandy. Thank you.
All good.
Okay, we have another question. It's Katie. How do I change the phone number that our USDA direct shipments call for delivery? I would like to change the phone number to our warehouse direct number instead of my phone number. Okay. Yeah. It's probably WebSCM. What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah, you'll, like, if it's WebSCM for your direct shipments, Katie, you're gonna have to contact us and let us know, and then we'll update that profile. So if you want to shoot me an email with the number you'd like it to be and copy Utah FDP, we can get that done for you.
Thank you so much. They're always calling me and then I have to email my warehouse and say, heads up, it's coming here. And it would be so nice if they just called my warehouse and they put it on their calendar. It'd be amazing. But I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
you
problem.
bet.
Just to be sure, you're talking, like, when you say USDA direct shipments, you're not talking about US
No,
Foods.
not US Foods. It's all like the truckloads of frozen blueberries. They call me in the middle of doing something and then I have to turn around and email my warehouse because I want to just give them a heads up.
I totally, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, send me an email and copy Utah FDP.
Thank
we'll
you
get
so
that.
much. Yeah,
Yep,
thank you.
absolutely. Any questions about anything else? I'm gonna give it one more minute. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good day.